If you have been afraid to try lace knitting, fear no more, my friend. The beginner-friendly project that I'm about to reveal to you today not only will dispel all of your lace knitting fears, but you're also gonna end up with a stunning project that you absolutely love. This is Soiree, our newest pattern release, and it really is a great project to try if you are newer to lace knitting and you want to improve your skills. Soiree is a beautiful project that you can actually wear in multiple ways. So you can wrap it around in some clever ways to wear it more like a sweater if you like, or if you just want to wear it like a traditional shawl, that works too. You can also toss it on just like a scarf. This makes it so great because you only have to knit one item, but it's like you end up with multiple pieces. I also love this pattern because due to its simple stitches and how easy it is to memorize, it makes it wonderful even if you're a beginner knitter. I am gonna show you how to make this here in a minute, both the sleeves and the body. So if you can work a knit, a purl, a yarn over, and a couple of other fun stitches, you're gonna be good to go. And another cool thing is this is actually worked flat, just as one big rectangle. You just make it flat, and then at the end, you're gonna seam up your sleeves, so it really is nice and easy. I also love that the designer made multiple sizes in the pattern for you, and this is worked long ways, so you can keep wrapping it around as you go to make sure you get that perfect fit before you finish off with the second sleeve. And isn't that one of the main reasons that we knit? So that we can have a perfectly fitted custom item that you can't buy anywhere. Making something with love and intention like this really is something special. And we have to talk about the yarn that we use to make this. The yarn is our scrumptious hand-dyed Dewy DK yarn, and it is just perfect for projects like this. It's soft, it has the subtlest little glow to it, and it really is nice and squishy while offering a beautiful sense of drape and movement as well. So if anyone is ever in doubt on which of our yarn bases to get started with, I always recommend Dewy DK. It's a perfect beginner yarn. We chose to use 5 colors to make this version. So if you're wanting to make one similar, you're gonna wanna get our sweet Soiree Hues kit. And as per usual, this new pattern is free, but just for a limited time. So you can hop over and grab it and get the yarn at ExpressionFiberArts.com. And while you're there, be sure to sign up for email and for text updates for free weekly knit and crochet patterns. Now, my beautiful friend, procure some tea, some yarn, and some needles, and I'm gonna show a little quick tutorial for you of how to make a miniature version of this. We're gonna start with row 1 of the first sleeve. I'm gonna cast on 9 stitches, and you will have a few more than that. I'm just gonna work a little miniature version today. 5, 6, 7, and you wanna make sure to leave a nice long tail for weaving your sleeve up later. And we're just gonna work knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and you're just gonna repeat that all the way across to the end of your row. Knit, purl, and you're gonna finish off with a knit stitch. We're gonna go ahead and turn, and we're gonna actually be working ribbing for the sleeve, which makes a nice stretchy sleeve. So if you look here, you're gonna see this is a little purl bump. So we're gonna purl when we come to those, and when you see the V's, we're gonna knit those. So for row 2, we're gonna start with a purl 1, and then a knit 1. So purl the little purl bumps, and knit the V's. Purl, knit, purl, knit all the way across. And then for rows 3 through 10, you're just gonna repeat rows 1 and 2 4 more times. Once you've done that, you're gonna have some beautiful stretchy ribbing. So you should have been knitting all the V stitches and purling all these little purl bumps, and this is what you end up with. For row 11, we're gonna work an increase at the beginning and the end of our row, continuing our ribbing in the center. So we're gonna start with knit front and back. So knit into the front of the first stitch, but leave that on your left needle. Go ahead and swing your needle around and insert into the back of that very same stitch, and knit again. So we've turned 1 stitch into 2, and then you're good to go ahead and drop that off. Now we're gonna work across, purl, knit. Remember to purl your little purl bumps, knit the V's, go all the way down to the end, knit, purl, and we're gonna do the same increase in the final stitch. Knit into the front of the stitch, swing around and knit into the back of the stitch. And then you can slide it off. For row 12, we're gonna start with purl 2, and you wanna make sure that this first stitch is pulled down and looking like this. It should have the little purl bump. Sometimes it wants to pull up like this, and it looks like 2 stitches, but it's not. So keep that pulled down, and you wanna make sure you're working into the actual stitch. Purl 1, purl 2, then you're gonna work your ribbing across, knit, purl, knit, purl, and just continue repeating, knit, purl, knit, purl, and then you're gonna work the final stitch as a purl stitch as well. For row 13, we're gonna start with a knit 2, 1, and 2, and then you're just gonna work your ribbing across the row. Purl, yarn to the back, knit, yarn to the front, purl, yarn to the back, knit. All the way down to the end of your row, and when you get to the final 2 stitches, you're gonna knit both of those, 1 and 2. Row 14 is the same as row 12. You're gonna work purl 2, 1, 2, and then work your ribbing all the way down, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, and then finish off that row with 2 purl stitches. For rows 15 through 18, you're just going to repeat rows 13 and 14 2 more times. Here's what you should have so far. You're going to have a lot more stitches, so yours is going to be a lot wider so that it actually fits around and makes a sleeve, but it should be looking something like this. For row 19, we're going to start with our increase, knit front and back. So knit into the front of the first stitch, swing around and knit into the back of that same first stitch, and then you can go ahead and slide it off. So we have our increase. Now we're going to work our ribbing, knit 1, purl 1, and we're going to do this all the way down until the final 2 stitches. Knit, purl, knit, purl, and when you have 2 stitches left, you're going to work your increase here in the second to last stitch, knit into the front and into the back. So we've increased and finish off with a knit 1. Row 20, we are just working ribbing all the way across the row, and we start with a purl 1, then we knit 1, then you're going to purl 1. Then once you've got past the increase from that previous row, you can tell what you should be working by seeing the stitches, knit, purl into the purl bumps, knit into the V's, purl into the purl bumps, knit into the V's all the way down, knit, purl, knit, and finish off with a purl stitch. And then for rows 21 through 26, just gonna repeat rows 1 and 2 3 more times. Then you're gonna continue working similar rows. So as you can see, although this is a super skinny version, the sleeve is just ribbing with some increases on either side. So it is super easy. Now let's learn how to make the body. Now we're gonna start on the body, and your sleeve will still be attached here. I just needed more stitches on my miniature version to show you how to work the body, but all the sleeve that you just worked is still attached here, and we're just continuing on. So we're gonna start with row 79. And that begins with knit front and back, just like we were doing on the sleeve, knit into the front, knit into the back, and we're gonna do that again with the second stitch, knit into the front, swing around and knit into the back. Now, depending on which size you're making, that will determine which stitch count you do moving forward. So I'm gonna do the smallest size, which is knit 1. If you're doing the second size up, you would knit 2, which is the first number in the parentheses. If you're doing the third size up, you would knit 3. So just follow the pattern according to your size. I'm gonna do the smallest size for simplicity. Then you yarn over, and then I'm gonna knit 1, yarn over, and then knit 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Go ahead and work another yarn over, a knit 1, another yarn over, and you're going to continue repeating that. Knit 11, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over 3 more times. Then when you get to the end, you're going to follow the pattern according to your size for how many number of stitches to knit. I'm going to knit 1 because I'm doing the smallest size. Then we're going to finish off with a knit front and back into that second to last stitch, and a knit front and back into the final stitch. For row 80, we're going to start with a slip 1. So on wrong side rows, you're going to hold your yarn to the front and you're going to slip purlwise, which means your needles are point to point, and just slip that first stitch off. And this is a nice and easy row. You're just going to purl every stitch all the way down. Nice and relaxing. If this is your first lace project, then this is going to be a nice little break for your brain. You don't have to worry about yarn overs, increases of any kind. You're just working your nice little purl stitches all the way down. So just continue repeating those to the end of your row. And you're all set up to start the next row. For row 81, this is a right side. So we're going to start by slipping one with the yarn and back. Again, point to point, so slipping purlwise. And we're going to knit 3 for the smallest size. But again, if you're doing a different size, follow the pattern according to however many stitches you need to work. Then we're going to work a slip, slip, knit, which is one of my favorite stitches. Slip, slip, and knit. Then yarn over, and you're going to knit 1. Yarn over, you're going to knit 2 together. So just knit those next 2 stitches together. Whoop, and then you're going to knit 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and work another slip, slip, knit. Slip, slip, knit. Then yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 2 together. Nice and easy, and you're going to continue repeating that all the way down your row. When you do get to the end, you're just going to knit to the end. For row 82, it's the same as row 80. We're going to start by slipping that first stitch. And then another nice and easy brain break of a row. You're just going to purl every stitch all the way down to the end. I love lace patterns that do this. So you do your little fun stitches on the right sides, but then the back sides, you're just chilling. So it really is a wonderful project to practice your lace. And I really think it would make a great first lace project. And once you know how to work these stitches that I'm showing you, you are great to make this whole piece. Purl, purl, and purl. For row 83, we're going to start by slipping that first stitch with our yarn and back. For my size, I'm going to knit 4, 2, 3, and 4, and then yarn over, and then we're going to do a center double decrease. To work that, you're just going to slip 2 stitches together knitwise. So just go ahead and insert your needle like so, and slip those off the left needle. Go ahead and knit that next stitch, and then you're going to pass those 2 slipped stitches off of that one. Nice and easy. It makes a really beautiful decrease. Then yarn over, knit 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yarn over. We're going to work that center double decrease again. Slip 2 stitches as if you were knitting them together. Knit the next stitch, and then pass those 2 slip stitches over that stitch and off. Nice and easy. Yarn over, then you're going to continue repeating that all the way down to the end, and then you're just going to finish off with some knit stitches. Knit and knit. For row 84, we're going to go ahead and slip that first stitch, and then you're just going to go ahead and purl all the way across to the end. And from here on out, you're just going to continue to repeat the last 4 rows for the rest of the body. And then you're going to work the second sleeve, and you're going to seam it up and seam up the first sleeve, and then voila, you're going to have a stunning piece to keep you both cute and cozy. And this is just such a fun one. You can wear it so many ways. It's just the cutest thing. And everyone's going to be asking you where you got it. Everyone's going to want one. So you're gonna have your first sleeve attached here, and then you can see this gorgeous lace here that's starting to pop out, and that's just gonna block out beautifully once you finish your piece. So you just continue on this way and then work your second sleeve. Have a wonderful rest of your week. May your days be filled with color and your heart filled with joy. Be sure to download this week's pattern and hop back next week because I am gonna have another gorgeous new design that you do not want to miss. So I will see you then. Bye.